Hello and welcome to the Bloody Mess RFPS integration tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to tell you how to set up RFPS with Bloody Mess and vice versa. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we need to do is go to RFPS and drag in our FPS player main, like that. Go ahead and see. Let's rotate this. See which way it's facing. Let's face it that direction right there. Move it back some. And then let's go ahead and bring in an example character for us to shoot. We go to the dude and we'll bring in the dude right here. We'll go ahead and take a quick look at him, see how he's set up. Doesn't currently have any animations right now or AI running on him. He has a rigid body with a mass. His rotations are frozen. He's got a character setup script that is already pre-set up for you to use automatic ragdolls, and it destroys the ragdolls. He has a max global health of 200. And he has got general, kind of easy to dismember stuff for his head. I actually think I'm going to set the head health to 200. And then we'll just leave the rest of this like it is. We're doing a head multiplier of 5, not 50. And these multipliers are a little bit less. We're using head and body dismemberment. And we've already got that all set up here. And we have weapon type head, weapon type limb, and weapon type torso. For head, we're using weapon type 1. Limb, we're using weapon type 2. And for torso, we're using weapon type 2. What this means is that weapon type 2 can dismember everything. Weapon type 1 can dismember limb and head. And weapon type 0 can't dismember at all. That's what that means. We go to his layer is set to enemy. And if you were to look at his actual references, they're all set up correctly. Limb and the various body parts. So let's go ahead and look at one other thing. We need to go up here to project settings and physics. We need to look down here. We need to find enemy and limb, and make sure enemy and limb do not actually hit each other. Alright, next up we need to go ahead and activate a couple weapons. We're going to do the M4, the M1911, and the shotgun. Set have weapon. For the shotgun, it's a weapon type of 2. For the M4, it's a weapon type of 1. And for the M1911, it's a 0. Let's go back through again and give them all 999 ammo. Now we need to go through into each one and make sure all their animation clips are there, as for some reason in Unity 5 it doesn't bring them in correctly. So the M4 is fine. The M1911 needs its fire animation, and the shotgun will need a couple animations. We'll do fire, neutral, reload, and ready. Alright. Now we need to go into the scripts and actually get things set up correctly. There's 3 scripts we need. We need weapon behavior, which can be found under the weapons in the scripts of RFPS. We need weapon effects, which can be found under the effects in our RFPS scripts. And then we need shoot, which is found under the Bloody Mess scenes positional healing scripts, and then shoot. What we do is we go to our shoot script, we copy the if statement right here, which says if collider.gameObject.layer equals layer mass named layer limb. This is how we're going to send damage to Bloody Mess. So we hit copy, we go to weapon behavior, we add a public int at the top. Public int weapon type. Obviously, I'd already built this once. That's why I was already there earlier, but we're going to go back and do that again. So we're going to put a public int weapon type. And then we're going to scroll down to the hit section. On shell, fire one shot, we're getting close. Hit object right here. Alright, we're going to press enter above their switch for applying their own damage. We're going to hit paste. You'll notice the direction is already called right here, so we can actually remove this line. The vector3 direction equals that. Remove that. Alright, so we need to do another thing. We need to go here and just copy this hit collider game object equals. Come down to where it says if hit collider.gameObject.cat equals flesh, and we need to paste that in there. Now, one thing you'll notice is that the actual weapon effects get sent to another script entirely, so that's why we need to have the weapon effects script here. So what we're going to do is just go ahead and copy this if statement right here, the if hit collider.gameObject.layer, copy that, go up to weapon effects, and then in the void impact effects area, we're going to go below the switch that they use, make enter a couple times, add that, close the bracket to complete our if statement. Then we're going to go up to where it says flesh. We're going to copy everything that's underneath there, bring it down, hit paste, and then we're going to go up to build, hit build. Now let's go through and make sure our guns are set up correctly. Weapon type 1, weapon type 0, weapon type 2. Alright, we can go ahead and press play. Pull out our first gun. You'll notice, see, nothing's hitting. We've forgotten to do something. And what we forgot to do is to go to each of these, come down to the bullet mask, and add limb. See, now we're hitting him. And you'll notice that with the pistol, it won't dismember anything, but it does do the positional damage. With the rifle, it will cut limbs off correctly. And with the shotgun, it will cut torsos off. It can do everything. Now you're going to notice a small issue. I'm stuck on this. The Unity error where you can get stuck on ragdolls with RFPS. If you want to fix that, what you do is you make a physics material and call it frictionless, and set friction and everything to 0. There's an example on the forum thread for RFPS that shows you how to do that. But for right now, I want to do something else. I want to see how it's disappearing. This has to do with a camera culling issue that I'm still working on. There is one way to fix this. It's a quick fix but is not necessarily a fix you would want to keep around because it's kind of performance intensive. I'm trying to figure out what is causing it. It essentially only happens with games that use two cameras, and so I'm still working on it, but I'll show you one thing. You'll notice on this one over here, it isn't doing it. That's because I have it already set to what it needs to be set to. So if I was to go into the prefabs and look at the dude ragdoll that I use for this character, you can open him up, go to all his things right here, and you'll notice I have update when off screen. This just means that it actually updates the mesh when it's out of the camera culling area, and that isn't necessarily what you want to do, but until I figure out why it's doing that for specific body parts with some of these FPS things, it'll be a workaround. So what you noticed is that the upper body was doing it. So we can drag the upper body mesh in here, which is in and of itself is just a ragdoll. We can go into all its meshes and update when off screen. Hit apply. Go ahead and delete it and the dude ragdoll. Press play. And this may be another reason why you want to get rid of your ragdolls and destroy them or add them back into pooling quickly. And it works. So you can see what the issue is, and I'm working on a way to fix it, but I have not yet, and I'm hoping to have some way to fix it before final release. But anyways, that pretty much concludes adding, like integrating RFPS into Bloody Mess. Now, once you have this gotten to this part, you can now go in and use the damage functions or the damage events to do whatever you want to these limbs that you're blowing off. And I actually don't add force in the script itself, but if you wanted to come along and add force when you blow off an arm or a leg or what have you, you can do that. I have an event tutorial out there that actually does do that. So check that tutorial out to find out how you would go in and add force to individual body parts once they've been blown off. Alright, the next tutorial will probably be UFPS integration, and I'll see you then. Alright.